I wasn't really feeling the first date, and I'm unsure if I should go on a second date. He tried to kiss me, but that was very uncomfortable to me. Should I give him another chance? He planned the date very well. That is a very great question. And firstly, I want to acknowledge the fact that you pointed out that he was planning the date for you, which is something that you really liked, and that he was being very gentlemanlike throughout the whole date is, just amazing that you can even acknowledge that, because that alone is truly your femininity showing. Next, don't be afraid to go on a second date with him if he asked. It takes us women a bit more time to really decide whether or not we feel a connection with a man. And usually the first date is a very much just get to know you first level basis, deciding whether or not you like their personality. And depending on the man, because each man is very different in my experience, some men will be very direct and upfront about what they want on the first date. And sometimes on the second date, that's when you get down to the nitty gritty. So either way is perfectly fine, and there is no harm in going on a second date and having a man provide a meal for you and show you a good time, to have the presence of masculine energy in front of you, showing what a gentleman is like, and for you to be in your feminine essence in front of him, showing him appreciation for what it is that he is providing for you. You know, it is so easy for us to get so hardened and masculinized and business-minded in this current culture that we are living in. But the purpose of dating is, yes, of course, to find a potential lifelong partner. But it also provides a very feminine experience for both of you. It's that feeling and experience of getting out of that business world for just a few moments. That fast pace, that more highly consumerism sort of world that we are so programmed to, and then putting yourself into a more pleasurable community connecting experience, which is what you do on a date. So you have to not look at dating experiences as business deals. And I know it's so easy for us to do that. And to some truths, sure, it can be. But we have to get out of that mind frame and just look at dating as something to be enjoyed between two people, between a man and a woman, having a great time together and getting to know one another and connecting and sharing life and sharing laughs and sharing food and sharing great conversation. And I think you get the gist of it. So, I bring up that point because I don't want you to go on a date with a man and feel this sort of guilt just because he simply took you out and paid for a meal for you. It's so easy for us to get so caught up in this crazy guilt. But I promise you, you are giving a man exactly what he wants just by simply being in your feminine presence and you receiving what it is that he is giving to you. And I do cover a bit of this actually in my dating course, which we'll be releasing very soon. But ladies, you should never kiss a guy if you do not feel comfortable with kissing him. And I know and understand men very well. Men lead with sexual attraction. So yes, they are going to be more physically attracted to you than you will be to them. That is normal, and that is something to be honored. But just because he is having sexual attraction for you does not mean that you need to reciprocate by giving him a kiss. His goal and his masculinity is to get in there and conquer you. So he's going to feel that strong sexual pull towards you before you will for him. And we also have to have a lot of grace for men today. They are very confused by modern day feminists. They have women all over today throwing themselves onto men with no shame. And chances are is that he probably has experienced that. And from a scientific perspective, kissing can help us decide on potential mates. So it's no wonder that men want to get straight to the kiss, because this can induce sexual arousal in women. So it produces a lot of hormones and transfers hormones to one another. And once upon a time, men did not have to date a woman for an extended period of time. Once upon a time, believe it or not, they just met and married. So this could very much be wired into the male brain. And we just have to understand and respect that. So give them a bit of grace, because we are all a bit confused here. So a kiss is very powerful, and you do not have to kiss him if you do not feel comfortable with that. That is a very intimate and special act. So you can communicate to him. If he asks to kiss you, you can say, "No, thank you, but you can kiss me on the cheek." Or you can say, "No, thank you. I need a little bit more time to do such an intimate act with someone." And that's it. There is no harm in rejecting and staying within those boundaries. Don't be afraid to leave it at a hug or putting your wrist out for him to kiss your hand. That's also perfectly acceptable. But a hug is going to be the most innocent and nurturing and warm, welcoming, warm goodbye kind of gesture that you can do. Everyone appreciates a good hug. So do not kiss anyone that you do not feel comfortable in kissing. There is no harm in deciding to say yes to another date. But after that date and you still intuitively do not feel that this is just not the right connection for you, something about, his life and his values are just not compatible with yours, then you can just gently let him down. After the date is over, you can say, "Thank you so much for these wonderful dates. I've had such a great time." If he persists in calling and texting you later on, you can just communicate that you are just not feeling it, but you've had, a great time getting to know him. So thank you for bringing up such a great topic, and I hope that helps you. And like I said, this is going to be all in my dating course. I cover all of this very valuable advice and information for you. So make sure you stay tuned for that.